All right. So thank you for that, Mitesh. Again, my name is Ivan Yambo, and I'm with Tasklet. I wanted to, just as Mitesh had introduced Navision Tech there, I will go ahead and do the same and kind of give a quick introduction on who we are, who Tasklet Factory is. So essentially, we are a mobile scanning solution for your Microsoft Dynamics ERP. Now, that mobile scanning solution, whether it be, I mean, for the ERP, may that be BC, any version, obviously, or, Nav all the way back to 2009 R2, as we've been around for about 16 years. Our CEO noticed in the market that there was a huge need for a mobile scanning solution that was basically powerful and agile enough to cater towards individual companies' needs, but intuitive enough where it guided the workers through the warehousing process. We do march the beat of Microsoft. Therefore, our go-to-market strategy is to go through partners and deliver our solution as we are one component of the overall ERP system. We continue to build our customer base around the world and currently have over 1,700 customers in 40 plus countries. So, quick side note there, our device can be used in other languages like Spanish, French, and many more. We do have offices in Florida, here with Navision Tech as well here in Florida, and Denmark as well. Um, Now, whenever you have a mobile scanning solution, there's a hardware component involved, and obviously Navision Tech and Tacit can help out with that process as well. So as we can see here, the most common frustrations when you don't have a mobile WMS in place, I mean, it's obviously could be tedious for all parties involved, right? And it's not a matter of if things go wrong, but how bad did things go wrong, right? From that perspective. Um, so basically misplaced items, right? Poor basis for decisions, supply chain delays, and so on. These are all pain points I'm sure everyone here is familiar with. So then the next slide here coming up is basically the benefits of choosing a mobile WMS. So um, if we can, yeah, perfect. Um, so here you can see some improvements that you'll be able to capture by having a mobile WMS in place where, you reduce the number of errors, you reduce costs, you better accountability, essentially, which all translates and comes back to return on investment and being able to have a more effective and efficient warehouse and tracking of inventory. Here, you can see that our solution is going to allow you to work offline. So if there's any dead zones within the Wi-Fi, within your Wi-Fi, within the warehouse, there's no need to worry. So the offline capability is not completely offline, but it is a way if, your warehouse workers are walking the warehouse, or if there's refrigeration or whatever the case may be, and the Wi-Fi connection doesn't reach, no worries. And I'll show you what that looks like during the demo as well. Um, our installation process only takes 2 days. If you could go back to that previous slide, Mitesh, there, it only takes 2 days, 1 day to put our software on the handhelds and another day to get our software in your ERP. If your workflows and processes require us to go outside the standard processes, our solution is more than capable to customize to the point where after Navision Tech is done making the necessary adjustments in your ERP, basically they've already done 95% of the work. So that is excellent because we're directly integrated into NAV and Business Central. So think of our solution as a user-friendly extension of your ERP system. During the demo, you'll see just how user-friendly, and obviously Navision Tech and Tasklet don't only pride ourselves on delivering a great solution, but also great ongoing support. So we understand that this is not a transaction, but a partnership, and will be there whenever needed. Now, here you can see the technology, our ERP system. You have your ERP system. So basically, the operating system runs on Android when it comes to the mobile WMS, when it comes to that, um, as they're the leaders in mobile devices. The solution is a .NET application, and that's the way we communicate with the ERP system. It's by using web services. So there's no middle server. We don't have your information. So from a security perspective, top notch there, no worries. Again, we've been around since 2008. Therefore, we support most versions of Nav and all versions of VC, of course. And one of the most important ways that we offer our solution is through Mobi Control. It's a device management system that allows us, Navision Tech, and you as the end user to remotely access and control scanners. Basically, that means we don't need to send anyone out physically to implement or troubleshoot hardware. Everything can be done remotely. And the last slide coming up here before I get into the demo here is basically a snapshot of some of our customers along with the verticals they're in. If you like more in-depth look, you can always go to the case studies there. So without further ado, allow me to go ahead and share my screen. So give me one moment here as I steal the controls from Mitesh there. Let me go here, share. All right. Mitesh, is my screen visible there?
Yes, I can see.
Perfect, perfect. All right. So this scanner, I actually, I'm as you can see here, my cursor where it says Mobi Control. So I'm actually using Mobi Control to also demonstrate the solution here. This is a scanner. I literally have the scanner in my hands. I'll go on camera here, so don't get scared, anyone. I want to set some precedent here. I have the remote, the device in my hand here. This is what I'm going to be using scanning, but I can also control it on the screen here. I also want to bring your attention to the barcodes that I have in my hand here. So barcodes for the product, barcodes for the bins, barcodes for delivery notes, so on and so forth. So essentially, think of yourselves, think of me as the warehouse worker going through these processes as I try to replicate what's going on within the warehouse there as the warehouse worker goes through these processes. So I'm going to go here. Actually, let me do this. IYA. All right. So here we have the device itself, right? This is the login page. You can log in one of two ways. You can log in by the traditional way, entering your username or password, or you can simply scan a data matrix barcode and that's the way I'm going to actually log in here, using my user that has my user credentials. So you could throw that on an employee ID or have it on a wall or whatever the case may be. So when I log in, as you can see here, this is my landing page. So I have access to all of these features here. Now, if you only wanted your warehouse worker to see, receive, count, and locate item, for instance, that's all they'll see. So they'll only see those three different features. So you can restrict what they see and what you don't see. Now, one of the major aspects of, your warehouse, the solution, right? It's about layout and design, right? So we wanted to make sure that it looks as clean as possible, just like your warehouse when it comes to the layout and design. And we want to make sure we're keeping it simple as well, right? So this looks like your everyday smartphone, right? So you have your icons and then a description of what that feature does. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into the receive portion. Now, within receive, what you're going to see, it's going to give you a good sense of what everything else looks like. So I'm going to show you definitely receive an in-depth look That's where we'll spend most of our time because it's just going to give you a good sense of the feel of the solution, and then we'll go into other features there as well. I'll show you afterwards, and some of these other features are just quick in and out features. But let me go into receive here. So I'm going to now start controlling it using my hand here. Um, so as you can see here, we have 11 receive orders. It's highlighted here, so that's one of 11. You could filter your receive orders by clicking on here if you wanted to. I'll click on here to show you what that looks like. Then you can filter via location, location being warehouses, expected receive date, PO number, or assigned user, right? But I'm going to show you a way where it's more user friendly to go ahead and filter through there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and scan that product that's in front of me. So imagine me as the warehouse worker receiving an order. When I have that order in front of me, I just can actually go ahead and scan that product instead of trying to find the receive order or the purchase order number, what have you, right? So I'm just going to go ahead, scan that product. If that product is more than one receive order, what's going to end up happening is it'll let me know, okay, that specific product is on 2 receive orders. So you see how I went from 1 to 11 to 1 to 2. Now I'm going to scan another product here, and this specific product is only on 1 receive order. So it takes me directly into that receive order. Again, that user friendliness, right? That guiding the warehouse worker through the process, reducing errors, maximizing time as well. Now, this is the part, once you're in an order, everything you're going to see me do here can be done offline. So when you're looking at receive order, typically your Wi-Fi's booming, right? You have great Wi-Fi reception by the receive um, door, so on, wherever you're receiving your items. Typically, Wi-Fi strong there. But when you're putting away, when you're picking, things of that sort, that's when the Wi-Fi can probably get choppy. So when you're in a pick order, when you're in a put away order, when you're in a inventory count order, whenever you're in an order, no matter what it is, that's when you can be offline. So I'm going to go ahead, show you all this. I just need to be back online when I post. Same thing with all the other orders. So I'm going to actually start going through this receive order. I'm going to go ahead, scan my first product. It knows I'm expecting 10. I count those 10. Perfect. I got them. So then I go ahead and scan my next product. I don't even have to, click on this check mark down here. I just can scan my next one. But let's say, for instance, I'm expecting 15, but let's say I only have 11 because 4 of them got damaged. So I can go ahead here, change that to 11. As you can see here, there's a color code. Green means I've completed everything. Orange means I've partially done it. And blue means I haven't even started it. Reason I only have 4 lines here, but typically you're receiving 10, we're receiving 25. So what ends up happening here is if a warehouse worker gets to the very end, it's automatically going to ask them if they want to go ahead and post the order, and I'll show you that here shortly as I complete this order. But if that doesn't happen, the warehouse worker knows something happened, something came up. So all they have to do, instead of trying to take a look at each line or go back, take a look at the product, all they have to do is bring their attention to this color coding and, just flip through it and be able to know, okay, this is what I missed, or I haven't done anything here, as it's highlighted there. And you can always go ahead and post a partial order if that's what's required. So I am going to complete this order, but just letting you know, if I wanted to go ahead and post what was here right now, I can simply click on post, and then that's when I have to be back online, post it, and then what I haven't processed would stay there. And just for the sakes of time, I'll keep on kind of receiving here. So as you can see, this one says 11 of 15. I'm actually going to go ahead here and scan that product again, and it's going to know that I have 4 left over, right? I'm going to go ahead and accept those four, even though they're damaged. But what I'm going to do is, you see here, we have shortcuts. These are shortcuts that you can add. You don't need these. This is a customization, but typically, add item cross-reference, posting, attaching an image, printing, because you can print from the mobile device if you wanted to as well. Um, these are shortcuts. The menu button will take you into more of the filters and things of that sort. But what I'm going to show you here is, since this is highlighted, I'm going to actually attach an image here. And go ahead and click on that. Again, I'm going to use my product. So I'm just going to go ahead, click on capture image. These are the barcodes that I'm using. So I'm just going to kind of capture that image. Let's make pretend that that's my damaged product that I'm receiving. Damaged. Accept. Click on the green check mark. And then, as you can see here, now there's a paper clip. This paper clip indicates that that picture of the damaged product is now attached to there. So now what you can do is, on your side of the house, you can, on the ERP side, that image gets transferred and you can go ahead and process that however you would when it comes to damaged products there. So that's just a quick shortcut to show you how you can attach images as well. Now, this next product is a lot product. So it's going to have an expiration date. I'm just going to go ahead and scan that. So it says set expiration date. Now, this is just, we like to show the usability. So if you wanted your warehouse worker to set that expiration date, they can. Now, if you wanted to just keep that, knowing what the lot numbers are coming in and expiration dates are associated with it, you can also lock it so that your warehouse worker doesn't uh, change this. It can be set. So again, just showing you the customization, the flexibility, and if you want to make it rigid, you can. So no worries there. So I'm going to go ahead, accept that expiration date. Now, as you can see here, since this is lot tracked, it's just asking me for the lot number as well, unlike the last process that didn't have lot numbers. So I'm going to go ahead, accept that 15. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you a product that has serial numbers. Now, when I scan that item, you see here, it's a serialized product. It's asking me to scan the serial number. I can do that individually. As you see, it says 0 of 3 here. Or I can actually scan a data matrix barcode that has all three of those serial numbers on there. And I can just do that with one scan. So if you had 100, I'm going to do that right now. Scan that. And that went through. So this is the point where I need to be back online, and this is the point where I said once an employee gets to the end, this automatically populates. It says you've completed the registration on all order lines. You want to post the order. I can go ahead and say yes. I just want to show you guys something really quickly before I post the order. I'm going to go back here. It's highlighted. Click on menu here. Click on registrations so that you can see the serial numbers that got accepted with that one scan. They all got accepted there. So if you have 100 serial numbers, or if you're working with lot numbers, you could do the same thing with that, products with lot numbers. If you have those already on one data matrix barcode, feel free to scan that and it'll accept all those lot numbers as well. Um, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead, go to menu. I'm going to go ahead and actually, um, I just posted. We have a shortcut here. I'll show you this shortcut here, actually. See the shortcut post? I can just go ahead, click on post. Now, this is enter your delivery note number. This is another little customization we like to show, because that could be an employee signature. It could be an employee ID, or however you want. If you want to do some extra tracking, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to go ahead, scan the delivery note number there, and that's going to finalize it. And then it's going to say order posted successfully. And then I'm going to go ahead, close that. And then you can see here, now it says 1 of 10 because I've completed that receive order there. All right. Now I am going to go ahead and show you the put away. So now that I've received that order, same concept, right? When it comes to getting into the order, I can actually just scan that product because it's in front of me. I'm putting it away as a warehouse worker. So stay with me in regards to the, trying to replicate the warehouse worker walking through the warehouse. I'm just going to scan the product in front of me, brings me directly into this put away order. At this point, I can start walking my warehouse and be able to start putting things away. I do not need to be online here. This is probably where it comes more in handy as you're walking the warehouse. As you can see, it also, guys, this top one is the locations within the warehouse, aka bins, right? Within the warehouse. So I know where this bin is, so I'm going to start walking over to this bin, scan my products here that I have in front of me that I need to put away. Now, as you can see, it's asking me which bin am I placing it in because for tracking purposes. So I'm going to say I'm going to put this in this bin. It knows 10. I have my other product. Um, I want to know what bin I'm going to, so I'm just going to go ahead, click that. All right, I'm going to walk over to this bin here. I'm going to scan my product. Now I'm going to scan the bin that I'm placing it in. Again, reducing human error here, right? Instead of just throwing it in a bin, just scanning the bin as well, make sure they're placing it in the right spot. But for instance, let's say, again, flexibility, you don't have to allow a warehouse worker to do what I'm about to show you, but let's say all 15 don't fit in there. I can go ahead and put 10, change that to 10. Again, you see the color coding on the side. Um, I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what? There was space in that other bin that I just came from that's right next to me right now. So I'm going to scan the product again. And now I'm going to go ahead and scan a different bin and I'm going to get a message here. Now, orange is just a warning message. It is not an error message. Now, if you want this to become an error message, we can always customize it accordingly, right? So this says the entered bin does not match the expected value, the expected bin. Do you want to use it anyway? I'm going to go ahead and say yes, I want to use it anyway. And it knows I have 5 remaining. I'm going to go ahead, take those 5, put it in that exact bin that I just scanned. Since it's highlighted, I'm actually going to go into menu and I'm going to show you the registration so you can see what it looks like reflected back on the ERP side of the house. You can see here that I put 10 pieces in this bin, W030001, and then 5 pieces in the one that ends in 2. And you can see here kind of just the usability, right? The way it looks on the ERP side of the house, because this is a better reflection of what it looks like on the ERP, and then what it looks like using the mobile solution, using, the experience your warehouse worker gets, and as it guides them through it. I will go ahead and accept these next 2 products fairly quickly. And actually, I'm going to do something here. So I'm going to scan the bin that I'm putting it in. As you can see here, it's going to ask me for an additional step because this is a lot tracked product. So it's asking me also to scan the lot number because it wants to know in what location is that lot number going into. So I'm going to go ahead and scan that. I'm going to accept that 15. Yes. Now, I'm not going to put um, these products with the serial numbers away intentionally so I can show you what a partial post looks like. So as you can see, I've completed um, those top 3 products, but the serialized product, which is individual because they're serialized, 0 of 1, 0 of 1, and 0 of 1. I'm going to click on menu here. I'm going to go into post. But you know what? Before I even do that, let me bring your attention to here. You see these shortcuts? It looks different from my receive because I'm putting away, again, just to show you the customization of it. So I'm going to go here, menu. I'm going to click on post. Now, it's again, this is a warning message, not an error message. It's saying that I didn't complete everything. Do I want to proceed anyway? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. And as I process that, it says order posted successfully again. But when I close that out this time, it's just going to remove everything that I actually posted, and it's going to keep those 3 that I did not there. So just want to show you that you can do partial postings in a receive order, a put away order, pick order, whatever the case may be. All right. So now what I want to do is I just want to go over some other features here really quickly. I'm going to show you count. The difference between count and unplanned count is the following. Unplanned count, you can do it directly from the device and send it back to the ERP. So what I mean by that is more ad hoc, right? Real life scenario or situation is warehouse managers uh, they report to them that there's a product that seems like there's only 50 of them, but he thinks there should be 100. So what he or she can do is go ahead into the unplanned count, then scan. It's going to ask the item that they're looking to count. I'm going to go ahead and scan the item. Then it's going to ask them what bin are they counting it from, right? So go ahead, scan that bin, and we're going to say, actually, there was 123 of that item, and they can click on it, and then it's going to register that count of that product on the ERP side of the house. Now, it could either A, accept that count, depending on how you want it set up right away, or I'm going to show you when I go through the planned count, um, it can just be reflected on the ERP side of the house, and then with the new count, and then also with the old count, and then decide which one you want to accept, or and it will adjust your inventory accordingly there. So the regular count, so unplanned count, think ad hoc, on the fly, troubleshooting almost, right? Inventory. Planned count is you have your cycle counts, whether, I know when you don't have a mobile solution like this in place, it's very taxing, right? And that's one of the biggest returns on investment that we hear about, how quickly and smoothly and efficiently count has become. And, they go from doing a yearly or, every 6 months count to a monthly count or whatever the case may be. So, essentially, this is one of those planned counts. You go ahead in here. So it's being sent from the ERP down to the device saying, hey, warehouse worker, I need you to count this. Obviously, it's at 0 because we all know basically if we put 58, if it's not a blind count and we show them exactly how many there is, they're probably just going to go ahead and put that number back in there, right? So now, don't get me wrong. If you wanted that number to be reflected there, again, flexibility of the solution, you can go ahead and have that flexibility and show that number if you wanted to. We just recommend blind counts. So I'm going to go ahead, scan that. It's now asking me what bin am I taking it from. I'm going to go ahead and scan that bin that I'm counting it from. Let's say that one has 123, and just go ahead and keep on doing my count. This is pretty straightforward here. I'll say 89 of those, and then I'm going to go ahead, scan this bin, and then say 96 of those. And again, I get to the end, it's going to say this. Do you want to post the order as I've completed? I'm going to say yes, but I want to bring your attention to what it says now. It actually says here the registrations were transferred successfully. So that's what I mean. At this point, the new count will be reflected in the ERP side of the house, and it's the warehouse manager or whoever looks at that to go ahead and either accept that new count if it's within the margin of error, or if it's exactly, the exact count that was there, they can accept it or send back for a recount if they wanted to as well. Now, I want to go ahead and show you a couple of quick little features. Same goes for move and unplanned move, right? Move is from the ERP saying, hey, this item is now selling like hotcakes, so let's take it from the back of the warehouse and put it towards the front because it's being picked more often than not now. So let's put it in a high traffic area where people are picking a lot. Unplanned move, a warehouse manager can make that call on their own and just say, hey, let's move this product from here to there without having it needed to be sent from the ERP side of the house. Obviously, when moves are performed, you have two processes, right? A place where you're picking it from and the place where you're putting it to. So when you go through that process, you want to you have to scan the product, the bin you're taking it from, and the bin you're putting it to. Um, for the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead show you locate item and bin content here. So locate item, essentially what that does, it allows you to scan an item and see where that item is located throughout your warehouse there. So I'm going to go ahead scan a lot controlled item here because I want to show you something. As you can see, this bin, this location W030003, these are the same bins here, but as you can see, since this is lot controlled, there's two different lot numbers here. So although this one product is in the same bin, it is separated because if you have lot numbers, you want to know which lot numbers are in there. So 20 of this lot, 100 of that lot, and then different bins here, as you can see. But I want to draw your attention to 0 of 4 down here. Basically, what that means is there are 4 physically in this bin, but there's a pick order out for it. So if you're planning on making a move or doing something of that sort, don't touch these 4 because somebody's coming around the corner at some point to actually pick these up. So that's what that 0 4 is referring to there. Now, I want to go ahead and show you bin content. So essentially what you can do with the bin is you can go ahead and scan bin, and then that bin is going to tell you, it's going to tell you what is exactly in that bin. So in this specific bin, I have this product. Again, different lot numbers. That's why it's the same product, but coming up twice there. So that is your lot. Now, there's also, for those of you who might have production, assembly, we have that, there's print as well, item cross-reference. Um, we have a sneak peek, not a sneak peek here, but within the next week or two, we have license plating for outbound pick, pack, and ship. We actually will have it for inbound and inventory movements as well within the next couple weeks there. We're doing a soft launch, so if that's something that you're interested in when it comes to license plating, that's something obviously it can be discussed with Navision Tech and us as well as we do that a soft launch of inbound license plating. But that is pretty much the demo there. If it's obviously not a extensive demo, as this is a webinar. Be respectful of everyone's time. If you want a little more in-depth, a personal demo, we could always arrange that. So thank you for your time and attention regarding this. Mitesh, back to you, sir.
Thank you, Ivan, for the wonderful demo. And we have a question from one of our audience, like, can Tasklet handle pick, pack, ship functionality and the license plating? So if you can elaborate a little more on this, that would be great.
Absolutely. So that is actually part of, so as you can see, pack and ship here. I'm sharing the screen again. You can see pack and ship. So if I click on this here, there, you know what? Let me do, yeah, I'll click on this here. I'll go into here. This is the packing aspect of it, but even before the packing and shipping aspect that we can do, I want to, if I go into pick here, um, you see here, number of lines, shipment, number of documents, 3. Here's 3 different customers. Um, Shipment 13, shipment 14, shipment 15, and 15, right? So these are 3 different customers who are ordering, 3 of them ordering the same product, but then the third customer ordering another product. It's basically, okay, I'll show you really quickly here. This is part of the demo. So if I scan my bin here, since the question's asked, right, I'll take a little time to show this. I'm going to go ahead and scan the bin. After I scan the bin, now it's going to allow me to scan that product. I'm going to go ahead and scan the product. You see how it says scan tote? This is the license plate. aka license plate. I'm going to scan the license plate that's associated with, and I'm going to put 3 in that specific one. Now, for my next customer, I can just go ahead, scan that product. It knows I'm going to find. I'm going to show you what a warning error message looks like. Okay, so I'm going to scan the same tote that I did for that first customer, and it's going to give me red error message because it's saying, hey, this tote's being used already for shipment 13. You cannot use this one for this customer. You need to use a new one. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually scan a new license plate, and then it knows I'm expecting the 5. So then I'm going to go ahead, scan that, scan my third tote. So now I have 3 different totes for 3 different customers. Now watch what happens when I go ahead and scan this product for this customer here, the pistachios. I'm going to scan the bin I'm taking it from. And now it automatically knows that I'm using this tote. I don't even have to enter the tote number because the system registers, hey, this is for this customer. This is the tote you've been using. Go ahead, throw that in this tote. Absolutely. And then I'm going to put those 4 in there. And now I've completed that pick order. So I've done a pick order for 3 different customers using license plating and loading that in. So outbound license plating, something we've had for quite some time now, and now the inbound license plating aspect is coming in, and then the pack and ship aspect picks up right from there. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yes. Thank you, Ivan, for showing this feature. And I'm gonna go back
Yes.
and share my screen and see if we have anything apart from there. So I think, yeah, that's all we have. Thanks for joining us today. If you have any further questions or would like to discuss your specific requirements in more detail, please do not hesitate to contact us. You can reach out to us, the number displayed on this slide, or you can send us an email. And you can also follow us on social media where we have tons of Business Central education materials available. Thank you and have a great day.